Welcome back to the farm. My name's Roz, also known as Passion Flower, and you'll find me here each week talking about my farming and creative life. Apart from a really windy day at the start of the week, it's been a really gorgeous week. Lots of sun and nice to be outside and getting things done. Hence why there's a lot to talk about. First, a garden and planter box update. We finished filling both of the boxes that we had built and then put the brand new seedlings in and covered the rest of the soil with mulch. And they're doing pretty well already. I've been really careful to remember to water them every day, which is a bit tricky at the moment because we still don't have the tanks. So I'm filling a couple of watering cans and taking them down and making sure to just sprinkle over everything, including the mulch, to keep it all nice and moist. I also added some ends of the spring onion from when we were having dinner, and I just popped them in the ground, and already they've got some little green sprouts on it. So that's really awesome. And the rocket and the leek are doing really well and starting to get a little bit bigger. So soon I will need to separate them out so that they have enough room to grow properly. A finishing touch that we ended up doing on the boxes was adding planks of wood around the top edge to give it a nice flat finished surface. So now we have really lovely spots where we can sit in the garden, and it also provides a really great workbench space for when we'll be in there digging and for harvesting vegetables. Because these planter boxes have worked out so well, we probably will end up making a couple more. Maybe some the same size, but also perhaps a couple of more square ones that we can put a few trees in to really highlight and to landscape out the area. The success of the planter boxes inspired me to keep going on the garden in that area. It kind of gave me the direction of where I wanted things to go. So what I did is chose to clear an area between two doors along the wall of the shed. For this area of the garden, I decided not to build it up and make a box, but rather just dig into the soil that was there, add some of our brand new nice soil, and then just plant directly into the ground. I salvaged some old bricks to make a border around each side and an old plank of wood along the bottom. Seriously, every time I talk, Wade decides he needs to scratch and make noise. So it's enclosed in this little area of garden. I dug up as much of the weeds as I could, planted everything in, and then put more mulch on. I'm just going to have to watch this area really carefully because I probably didn't weed it quite as well as I should have. But with the mulch, I'm hoping that it will suppress as much of the weeds as possible, and I will be able to quickly see when any grow and just pull them out. The plan with this section is to make it look reasonably cottage style. So I've put in some shrubs and some ground covers. I dug out some lamb's ear from outside the front of my house, and I've planted that in to add to what I'd already bought. There's still old parts of the garden that was Nana and Pa's. So I also went through that and found some cuttings and have planted those, and we'll see how they go. It would be nice to sort of incorporate that into the new space as well. As it's starting to get cooler, it's time to harvest the honey. I spoke about the process for extracting honey in the very first episode that I ever published. Could be a little cringy to look at for me, but if you're interested, you can go check that one out. So this year we have a lot more honey than we had last year. The combs are really heavy, and the whole extra layer that we put onto the hive is full as well. I think it's because of the very different weather we have had. 2019 was a really hot and dry summer, and the dam at this time of year was still empty, and nothing was really growing. Everything was dry and yellow. Whereas this year, it's been wet and it's continued to be green and for the dam to be full. And it's obviously changed the kinds of plants and flowers that have been around for the bees. So it's really exciting to have so much honey and to be able to have hopefully enough honey to last us for the whole year. It tastes really different too. It's a lot creamier and smoother than last year's. So it's interesting to compare year on year. and to experience just that natural cycle of how things are based on the seasons and the weather. Begun on electricity for the shed. It's not hooked up yet, we don't have power there, but it has started. We had the electrician come in, arrange for the power to be turned off to our house. They're able to isolate it, so it was literally just for us, not for the whole area. And he dug up a trench from the pole to the shed. We're planning to move our meter so that it will run from near the power pole that provides our power. That way we didn't have to dig a big trench all the way back to the house from the shed. We're now waiting for the power company because they need to now run a different cable for us to connect the power properly. And then the next phase will be for a new meter to be installed and for the switchboard to be installed in the shed as well. No timeline on that, unfortunately, at the moment, so we've sort of got things half done, which is a little frustrating, but hopefully we can get some progress in the next couple of weeks. All of my crafting time this week has been spent on joining the squares of my colour block blanket, and I was really hoping that I would have it done to show you, but it's not quite there yet. I am up to joining the last row of squares. Then I need to do a final border around the whole thing and weave in all of the ends. So hopefully this time next week I will be able to share the finished blanket with you, and I'll give you full details about the pattern and all of the yarn and give you some comments and thoughts on the overall project. Well, that's it for another week. Thanks for spending some time with me. If you're enjoying these videos, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and look forward to seeing you next week on the farm. Bye.